even though quite a number of Nigerians believe they know our president, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, there are a lot of things you may not be able to say about him unless you are working closely with him. In this special report by legit.ng, we decided to speak with some of his aides who spoke glowingly about the man Muhammadu Buhari. One of those who spoke about him was Babatunde Raji Fashola, the former governor of Lagos State.
The first time I met him was when I was governor and he was a member of the Council of State. One of the things I noticed about him was that he generally carried himself with a lot of dignity and discipline. And he rarely spoke unless there was something serious to say. And that for me was very, very revealing, that a man could sit in meetings for long hours, and if there was really nothing serious he felt he should say, he didn't say things only so that his voice should be heard.
President Buhari is somebody I had known quite a while before I came to work for him and work with him. And I would say he's a man that is focused. One good thing about him is that he does not get distracted very easily. If you cast your mind back to the last almost 4 years, you will see that many things have happened that could distract a man and dispirit a man and discourage a man. But President Buhari trudges on at all times. He has the ability and the capability to take a lot of things in his strides, and he moves on because he has his goal, and where he is headed is where he focuses on. So I think that is one good virtue I have seen in him. You know, those of us in this administration, we have taken a lot of flack, particularly from the social media. If not that we see our principal being so cool, calm and collected, taking everything with equanimity, we ourselves will have been disturbed and discouraged. But because we see him taking everything calmly, we are also able to emulate him and follow in his footsteps in that area. And then, for us in-house, another thing is his good nature, which comes out in very many ways. His good nature makes him to have a good sense of humor and to see the bright side of things at all times. So for those of us who work closely with him, that his good nature inspires. Each time I see that side of him, I just ask myself, if only Nigerians know. Those who know. But a lot of people want to see him as a man who is stiff, unapproachable, taciturn, uncaring, unsmiling, but that's not who he is. We see his human side, we see his soft side, and it inspires us. In December 2017, we came out with a documentary which we called The Human Side of President Muhammadu Buhari. A lot of people had a series of encounters that they recalled about his soft and human side. I think he's an inspiring personality.
Mr. President is a very, very easy man to work with. I say that because once he gives you an assignment to do, once you've been appointed, he lets you just get on and crack on with your job. He's not the type of boss you are afraid to go and meet. He's not the kind of boss you are afraid of suggesting things to, because he's always willing to try even new ideas from his staff. Our boss is not the type that breathes down on his employees and dictates to them on what they should do and what they shouldn't do. He gives you a job and he gives you the space to do your job. And that is very rare in Africa. particularly in Nigeria, where many of us do not understand what teamwork is. You know, in a team, you are left to make your own decisions, and it's only maybe you are in a great difficulty, you revert to the boss. We are not, those of us who work with him, we are not afraid of him, we are not scared of him. He is a friend. He has one of the best sense of humor, very close to that. I think similar to what my father had. He could joke about anything. He could joke about everything. He has a way of dousing, you know, tension. When people are tensed up, he comes in and he just cracks a joke and lightens up everybody's face, you know. But again, he's the most misunderstood man in the face of Africa, because people who do not know him, you know, just assume that him being a past military leader, that he must be an autocratic man. No, he's not. President Buhari is very concerned, deeply concerned about the welfare of the ordinary Nigerians. He loves people. President Buhari will do, it's not that he doesn't care about the elite, but he cares more, his passion is just about the ordinary Nigerian. And when he campaigns, you can see that showing, because the ordinary Nigerians know that this man is their lover.
President Muhammadu Buhari, our dear president, has faith in the ability of the Nigerian women. Working with him has inspired me greatly, especially of recently. He made a statement that really touched me. He said that he preached Nigeria, he can hardly sleep. He works hard every day to improve the well-being of the common man in the state. What more do you expect from the president? He is so compassionate. He has passion for the common man in the street. He has passion for the Nigerian women and the girl child. And he has demonstrated that by his policies. If you look at his policies critically, like the market money, it favors the women more. And I think this is one of the presidents that have just not saying, but demonstrating his love and zeal to encourage the Nigerian women in their respective field to grow to the highest level. And I think he has inspired me, and my ideology have changed, and I've become more patriotic working with him.
The president that I know, if you get tainted with corruption, no matter who you are, irrespective of how close you are to him, you will answer for it. What can happen in the second term is that there can be more fillip to the anti-corruption war, because it's the second and final term. Yes, there could be more fillip, but then the president will continue to fight corruption. It's one of the cardinal principles of his administration. One of the three promises he made: we will secure the country, we will fight corruption, we will revive the economy.
In a very affectionate way, I will call him a stubborn old man, you know, and because he knows what is good for this nation, and there is nothing any other person will tell him that is going to turn his face or turn his eyes away from the ordinary people of this nation.
And then the time that we had a one-on-one for the very first time was when he was seeking office and came to Lagos to deliver an invitation to me to attend his campaign flag off. And I recall I told him that all you needed to do was to have called me. And he said no, that he doesn't do things that way. And that left that left an impression on me that not only was this man who had held Nigeria's top job before, humble enough to come all the way from Abuja, Kaduna to come and deliver an invitation card to me. And so, but that's the kind of man that perhaps. Then, of course, I later found out that he had a very good appetite. He loved his food, even so he didn't look it. And I saw him eat for the first time after seeing him or knowing him for about 3-4 years. And I said, "So you eat?" He said, "Of course, I like my food." So, and you will see that during Ramadan, he makes no pretense at all. He says he doesn't like Ramadan. It's just mandatory that he likes his food. I think he has been true to himself, and perhaps also he has been more revealing. Some people who voted for him were looking for the strong man. And perhaps there's this view now that he has become too soft. And I think that my sense of it is that, try as he may, perceptions are very strong. People still see the soldier, they don't see the Democrat. The man who doesn't want to break the law. The man who wants to follow principle. And for some people, that is a new Buhari. For some people, they will never change their views. Buhari is still a dictator, irrespective of what he does. And some people genuinely think that he has tipped over to the other side of democratic values, almost to the extreme. But at the end of the day, the essence of the man really is perhaps his enigmatic nature. You need to get closer to him to understand. He needs to feel, my sense is that he needs to feel comfortable about you to really reveal. He's a man of great humor, sometimes at his own expense, very self-deprecating in order to make a point at times. And, but people will never see that side of their leaders. Not everybody can be privileged to see that side. Those of us who are privileged to see it owe a duty to say that it exists. People have accused him of all sorts of things for which certainly he represents the opposite. For example, that is an extreme religious bigot, but he's very tolerant of women. And those who criticize him of being a dictator, perhaps one of the things I've asked, how many of them can even tolerate their own wives in private? To disagree with them without beating the woman to a pulp. But this is a man whose wife has disagreed with him in public, and we haven't heard. And it just speaks to the essence of the man. And some of his fiercest critics are those who cannot even tolerate a private disagreement in their own home. So, and I think those are very revealing of the man Buhari himself.
Mr. President has touched my life in so many ways. And I think I will never forget in a hurry. Like most people who claim that he's a religious bigot. No, Mr. President is a man that believes in the rights of the human being. He respects the right of every citizen. He respects the Constitution and upheld the Constitution, hold the Constitution in a very high esteem. You see, Mr. President is somebody who believes that everybody has a right of freedom of worship. You have the freedom to worship in every religion in which you belong with. Mr. President, I can talk about him on and without stop. I think he has inspired me so much, and he has changed my perception about life. And I want to say a big kudos to Mr. President, and I want to encourage Nigeria to work with him and give him an opportunity to do his good job.
Will age slow him down? I don't think so. As long as you have good health and you can cope with the rigors of an office, age is not an issue. There's a saying that age does not matter. If you don't mind it, it doesn't mind. Age is not an issue. Naturally, yes, if a man is 30, 40, 50, he is young and spry and can do a lot more in terms of physical exertion. But running a country is not all about physical exertion. It's just a mental capability, emotional stability, ability to take decisions, ability to cogitate and do the right things. And I think President Buhari has all that. 76 now. If he gets another 4 years after the elections, he finishes at 80. There are many leaders who are over 80 in different countries of the world. Yes, granted that the age is coming down in some parts of the world, but we still have, Trump is how old? He's well into his 70s. Malaysia last year brought in a man who was well over 80. Tunisia, the last leader that emerged in Tunisia was then 88 or something. So as long as a man is fit physically, is fit psychologically, is fit mentally, he can run a country. I believe President Muhammadu Buhari can run Nigeria for another 4 years.